All right. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our online meditation for today. So, while I was teaching today, and actually while I was grading today, one of the things that is in my class is I asked the students about what it means to empower the individual that they're working with. And what was interesting is as I was going through the answers and providing feedback for the students, I was talking a lot about the idea when we talk about empowerment, it is helping people to identify what are the things that are blocking their own sense of their ability to, in many ways, take control of their own lives, if you will, or what's stopping them from being able to do the things to feel empowered. And as I started to talk about this, I started to recognize, and I'm not sure I ever really put this together in the way that I did today. So it was kind of interesting for me that what I was talking about were really what the Buddhists refer to in meditation and in Buddhist practice as hindrances. And the Buddhists recognize five hindrances, but we don't necessarily have to label those. But it's really about addressing things that arise for people, things like doubt and anger and grasping and laziness not in the sense of laying around, but in mentally just sort of not working through things and not seeing things. And so, what was interesting is what I'm teaching the students in the interviewing techniques class that I'm teaching and to are going to be engaged as helpers is really about how we as individuals disempower ourselves by hindering and blocking ourselves and not recognizing things. So what I'm learning is that the more I teach about these skills, about how to help others, the more I recognize that the first place and how I talk about meditation to recognize and be aware of teaching ourselves is that we need to be aware of the things that cause us to block ourselves from reaching the kind of the place where we want to be, reaching that sense of being in control of our lives, of reducing our own sort of suffering and our own dissatisfaction. That if we can see our doubt, if we can see our anger, if we can recognize it and not respond to, not react to it, but recognize it, see it, and move from there, that that is one of the things that allows us to, in a sense, take control of our lives, to be able to go through our lives in a way that we can experience more satisfaction and more joy and a recognition of how we manage all of the difficulties in life. So that constant connection between the two parts of the things that I do, I found to be really interesting. So I thought I would share that with the group today. And Kayla, welcome. We see that you are here. So we have Kayla Ernestine is also a Trident Technical College student. So she's joining us today. Kayla is a graduate, Ernestine. So
Yes.
she is a
Good
student.
afternoon. Nice to meet you.
All right. So now we're split between two people from South Carolina and two people from Wisconsin joining. So now where everything is even. So that's very nice. All right. So I am going to set my timer and we'll start our meditation session and go from there. So, all right. Well, as always, we begin. Just sit yourself back, get yourself into a nice, comfortable position, loosen your body, relax your body, feel yourself in your chair, feel the chair or the bed or wherever you're sitting against your body. Feel the pressure on your body. Move yourself into a place of awareness. We are consciously aware of all of your surroundings. So take note of how your sensations, how your senses are experiencing your current moment, the temperature in wherever you're sitting, the sound or the quiet and the sound of the quiet wherever you're sitting, your own body. Feel your own body. Try to drop your shoulders, relax, let go. anything that you might be holding on to during the day that is still with you, just try to let it go. Let go, and let's do a quick kind of body scan as we begin today, starting up at the top of your head and slowly rolling down your body. Notice perhaps that you have tightness, or you're clenching your eyes or your jaw. And so actively just loosen up. Let your mouth just kind of hang a little bit, opening and not clenching and closed. Kind of move down to your upper body, your upper shoulders, your neck, your upper back. I know for me, that's a place I often hold tension and tightness. So just loosen it up. And as you let go of the tension, let whatever's in you kind of arise. Whatever that is, whatever thoughts that you're having, whatever you bring with you to our session today, as it rises up, and just allow it to go, to sort of just float away into the atmosphere as if it's just evaporating, the tension evaporating off your body. I try to imagine it as if there are little bubbles rising from that tension, just floating up and up and up and dissipating, mixing with the air, and I can almost see them. And I feel a sense of relaxation sort of roll over my body, almost as if it's a warmth that is covering me. And we move down through our chest, through our bellies. Again, sometimes tightness or tension is held in our abdomen. Maybe we feel tightness in our stomach, or a little bit of indigestion, or that nervous feeling and butterflies. So if you feel those, or if any of that is there, just let that go. Let your abdomen relax, your legs relax, loosen the muscles in your thighs, in your calves, and sit. And let's come back to our breath, focusing our minds on our breath, feeling the air as we slowly breathe in, feeling the air entering our nose, in and out. And with each out breath, we can push away whatever tension or worry or stress or all the things that we have to do in life, and just push it out as if it rises with the in-breath, and we recognize it, and we exhale it with the out-breath. It's kind of the physical manifestation of our mental state, and allowing it to come and to go, and to acknowledge the impermanence of all of those feelings, to acknowledge the impermanence of the thoughts that run through our mind, and slowing them down, keeping everything slow. Let our minds go to 3/4 speed, to half speed, and so that we can see them, we can see the thoughts, we can, in a sense, in our mind's eye, kind of watch them as if we are observers outside of them. Whatever it is we bring with us, whatever the day has brought with us. And we just see them as they roll, and they roll past us. And we watch them, and we do a little bit of investigating to have an understanding of where they arise from, the bills I have to pay, the dinner I have to cook, the interaction with my supervisor I have to have, that interaction with a customer I worked with today, that interaction I had at the pharmacy when I had to pick up a couple of items, the stress I felt waiting in line, any of those things that we experience during the day, we can see how they felt and what they are, and we can let them go, let them disappear, let them float away, and come back to our breath, as we sit and we slowly just breathe in and we breathe out. And if our mind wanders, we recognize that. We become aware of our wandering mind and we see it and we label it mind wandering, thought, holding on to something. And in that recognition, we say and let it go. We can even wave at it, wave goodbye as it goes. We don't have to do a physical manifestation of the wave. We can see it and feel it. And so we stay grounded in the present and we shed the things that we've held on to and we let them dissipate. And we breathe in slowly, in and out. And we trace our breath as it comes into our body, slowly in and slowly out. And as we are experiencing in Wisconsin anyway, thunderstorms, I place myself outside and I see the clouds and the darkness of the clouds. And I feel the strange sense of the pressure in the air and watch the wind pick up. And I just am walking outside slowly in the street outside my house. And you can be anywhere in this experience. And we see the day almost turn into night. The clouds are dark and thick, and we're surrounded by gray. And we just absorb that color. We absorb that sensation. We feel the smell of the thunderstorm as it starts to rumble through, as the front starts to rumble through. We can smell the moisture in the air. And we breathe it in, almost as if we can smell the rain that is on its way as it comes. And we walk slowly, not wanting to get too far away from shelter, because we don't want to be out in the rain. And there's different shades of gray that we experience as we're out there. The darkness of certain clouds and areas, almost a line demarcating where that is, and then a lighter gray in that area. And then as we see the movement of this, even behind that, we can see little splotches of blue. And as we watch the movement of the front, the movement of the clouds, the movement of the weather, we are reminded and pinned to the idea that as the weather moves, as the clouds move, so too do our minds move with it. The thoughts, the things that arise in us, they move just like the clouds move, and we experience that movement by seeing it and acknowledging it and feeling it, but not judging whether we like that or don't like that, but just watching them go. It's almost like we're watching the thunderstorm that we're in, as if it's a movie on a screen, or we're inside some sort of device, a holographic device that allows us to experience it and watch the movement of our mind as a parallel to it, and recognize that we are the thunderstorm. We are the movements of the clouds. Our minds go from blue to gray, to noisy to loud. And so the thunderstorm goes from blue to gray to dark to thunder and to loud. And we are connected to it. We are no different than it. It is us. We are the thunderstorm. We feel it. We feel it, the rumble. We sometimes hear the roar of the thunder. as it roars, or see the spark of the lightning as it comes across the sky, lighting up the sky, the electrical charge. We can almost feel the electrical charge as it moves through the environment and into our bodies. And we walk perhaps a little more quickly as we sense the rain is imminent. And we feel in ourselves the emotions that are imminent, that are coming, that are arising. And we recognize that they will be with us soon, but they too will go. And we walk to a covered area. Perhaps we open our garage and we step inside of it, or in a covered area where when the rain comes, we won't be wet, but we'll be surrounded by it. And so we walk in and we pull out a nice little chair, one of those outdoor chairs. We open it up. We feel the fabric. We feel the roughness of the fabric on our fingers. We hear the chair as it opens. Perhaps it squeaks a little bit. We put it down and we sit and we feel our bodies being held by it. And as we sit, we look out on the outside, and all of a sudden a few drops start to fall. Plunk. We hear the sound of the plunk. We smell the environment. We can sense what's coming through our ability to smell it. We can hear the weather moving in. We can hear the sounds that it brings with it. The wind starts to whip and pick up, and the leaves roll back and forth in the trees. And a branch, a small one, more like a bunch of twigs, comes down and lands on the ground, plops down, and starts to roll around in a circle in the wind. And we see it, and we hear it, and we watch it. And we let it sit, and the rain starts to come down harder. And all of a sudden, suddenly, it comes down in torrents. Loud raindrops on the roof above us. The wind swirling around us. We can feel part of the rain as it gets blown in towards us. We feel the moisture on our hands, the moisture on our arms, in our faces. And we feel a sense of calm, perhaps, by being surrounded by all of this movement and energy and excitement. And yet we feel safe and calm as we just experience it. We don't think about it in any other way than the experience of the sound of the rain, the feel of the wet, the sound of the thunder, the burst of the lightning, the roll of the trees. And we see a squirrel running up a tree looking for shelter, covering itself from the rain and sitting there looking out, almost as if it's with us, saying, I like thunderstorms too. I like the experience of them. I like to be in the midst of them. So the squirrel and us sitting, we're the same. We are part of the same experience. The sensations are no different. The squirrel hears the noises. The squirrel smells the change, feels the pressure, feels the moisture, hears the wind. We hear the moisture, feel the wind, feel the sensations. And all of a sudden the rain starts to slow up. So like our minds move, like all the impermanent things that run through us in our experience, the rain now is just a drizzle. The wind has slowed. The trees have stopped swaying back and forth, and they're still. And the rain goes slower and slower. And we match our mind, whatever arises in it, to go at that same pace. It's almost as if we can see each individual drop as it falls from the sky and plops on the ground. And we see each feeling or thought or emotion as it rises up, and it too, in its own way, plops on the ground and disappears, past for another raindrop to come. And so the raindrops start to fall slowly until they cease. And our thoughts move to our breath as we focus on that. And our thoughts now cease. And we are clear, and our minds are clear. And we focus and come back to our breath. And so we breathe in, we trace our breath, and we breathe out, and we settle ourselves. And the clouds above us that were bringing us the rain have gone from a dark, dark, almost nighttime color during the day to just a gray, almost like what it would look like on an old black and white television set, for those that can remember such a thing. Shades of gray, matching that image, matching the outside, matching how our mind is experiencing that, how our sensations are processing it. And we just watch the color, and the color starts to change as the clouds move. The gray starts to break up, and all of a sudden, we can see a piece of sun through a small hole in the clouds. And it comes and it drops and it lands. It's almost as if it's a spotlight on us for us to see, for us to be able to see ourselves, to reflect our experience in that sun. And the clouds start to break. They start to move. And we allow the clouds to move. And the sun becomes brighter and brighter. And the thunderstorm has moved off. We see the sun, we see the blue sky, the gray is behind us. We can still hear thunder off in the distance. And so with that, we recognize the variation and the movement that we have experienced. It's as if we experience sadness and it goes. We experience excitement and it goes. We experience a feeling perhaps of stress and needing to move through things, and it goes. We experience joy and relaxation, and it too moves forward. And we watch this parade of sensations, emotions, feelings, and movement, as if we're watching a movie or a television show. And it just rolls forward. And it rolls forward. And we come back to our breath. And we sit and we focus on our breath. And we come back to our houses where we are, where we're sitting. We come back to our chairs. We come back to our environment completely. And we surround ourselves with the environment and the place where we are. And we focus on our breath, and we will meditate using the mantra word centered for each in-breath. So each time we feel our breath come in, we think centered, and we breathe out. And again, we think centered, and we breathe out. And we think centered, And we breathe out. And now we will do so in silence. In breath. And again, in breath. And as we sit, we focus on things we are grateful for. We arise and allow something that we are grateful for that happened for us today or that we experience. Perhaps we are grateful for a person in our lives, for a compliment someone gave us, for a hug we got from somebody we love, for a thank you from somebody, for somebody who let us go in front of us online at the grocery store, or who stopped so we could cross the street or make a left turn. And so we think about and focus on that sense of gratefulness as we breathe in, and we think we are grateful. And we breathe in, and we think we are fortunate to have that experience. And we breathe in and out. And namaste, may the light in me shine in you.